and welcome to WWDC. I'm Siri, your virtual assistant, and today I was asked to warm up the crowd, which should be easy since the high will be 75 degrees.
That was Siri of iPhone fame making a joke at Apple's Worldwide Developers Conference today in San Francisco. Jessica, did you find that joke funny that Siri said?
Well, Siri, there was this intro, sort of Siri introduced the keynote, and there were a couple jokes. It was doing local search results around San Francisco, and said it found a huge number of venture capitalists, which I happen to find funny. But yeah, they were just warming up the crowd, and I think it got a chuckle.
Okay, if it got a chuckle, maybe I was wrong. So let's get into the gadgets, which is what everyone wants to know about when Apple speaks. New gadgets.
So the new hardware, Apple announced some new and updated laptops. So it updated its MacBook Air and its MacBook Pro and came out with a device it calls the new MacBook Pro, which has a really, really sharp screen, sort of the same resolution as you're used to on mobile phones, is also much faster and also pretty thin. So that was what the company was highlighting and pretty giddy about on the hardware side.
And how much is that retailing for, and what other specs do we need to know?
Well, that one's starting at around, I think it's $2,200, and they knocked down the price of the MacBook Air, which is a sort of lower-end, lighter-weight one, by about $100. So pretty consistent sort of strategy still in pricing, and all of those devices are available today.
All available today, so if you rush down the Apple Store, you could get those. Now, they also upgraded some software, too, for your iPhone, your iPad. Tell us about that.
So Apple provided sort of a hint at what's going to come out in later this fall in terms of new software for iPhones and iPads. And they do this, they give it to developers ahead of time so everyone has time to build cool apps. There was a lot on this front. Probably one of the headline features was a totally new mapping app that is going to replace Google on the iPhone and the iPad. And this has a lot of the sort of cool imagery, directions, turn-by-turn driving directions, Siri integration. It's a pretty robust app that afterwards a lot of developers are excited about. And then, literally dozens and dozens of other changes. Updates to Siri, the virtual assistant that's gotten a pretty bad rap for not being so reliable to date. Also a new app called Passbook, which is kind of neat. It's a way to sort of consolidate your boarding passes, your tickets that you might order and purchase online, your Starbucks loyalty card. That's an interesting product that to some in the industry is maybe being viewed as a precursor to some sort of payment service. So that got some attention too.
Now, I know when you get a software upgrade, it's sometimes great and it's sometimes not so great, depending on the device you've got. I've got an iPad 1, the original iPad. Will it be able to be upgraded with the software, or will that screw it up?
That is a good question. So now, as of now, nothing can be upgraded with the software. It's not going to be out until the fall. And Apple said very sort of coyly that it'll be for iPhones, back to their 3GS one, plus, all other devices, which is being read also as a little bit of a hint of maybe we'll expect a new iPhone this fall, which, we've also reported sort of work has begun on. So right now, consumers are going to have to wait while developers get this ready. Ultimately, you will be able to upgrade from earlier devices, but probably not all the way back to the beginning.
Not all the way back to the beginning. Okay, great stuff. Thank you very much. Jessica Vassalero with the Wall Street Journal out there in San Francisco.